welcome to another crafty video. Today's one is using this gorgeous layered Monstera leaf stencil set from Simon Says Stamp that they very kindly sent me a voucher and I used it to purchase this stencil set. It's actually called just Monstera, and I will have a link to this in the description below the video as well if you want to get hold of it. But I'm doing quite a few videos using this Monstera leaf stencil. One, because it kind of shows you different ways that you can use your stencils. It doesn't have to be a Monstera leaf, it can be any stencil that you have, but also I just absolutely adore Monstera leaves, so it's quite nice for me to play around with a design that I really love, but you can always take on the ideas that I've shown you and transfer them to any of the stencils that you have in your stash as well. So I thought it'd be quite a nice one to repeat use in a few different videos. But for this one, I did the whole layered effect. The previous video that you saw me using this stencil, I just used the main first stencil that gives you the whole base shape of the Monstera leaf, and this card is actually here. I might actually do another video with some more colourways of this because I love how this card turned out. I keep looking at it because I love how it turned out, and I've got so many colours of spangles that would work really nicely with an Oxide background, so you might be seeing another version of that card in another video as well. Anyway, back to this one. So for this one I did the whole layering effect. You can see it's quite nice the way I've put this texture paste over the top of it. It's sort of blended the colours a little bit, so it's like a really cool mottled sort of Monstera leaf looking design. Rather than it being very graphic, it's gone a little bit more blended, which is really nice. And the three ink colours that I used for this, I think I hold them up in the video, but I used Bundled Sage, Evergreen, Bough and Mowed Lawn Little Distress inks with a blending brush to do that. The background stamping is Lost Shadow Oxide, and I use this dots on dots background. I bought this not very long ago because I bought this with the same stencil. I placed the order in December, but I couldn't find this on the website again, so I think maybe it's sold out. But they do a stencil version of this, so if you like this design with the dots on dots, they do a stencil, so you could have done a stencil in the background here. But when I stamped over my ink blended Monstera leaf with the Oxide ink, some of the colour of my ink blending picked up onto the stamp and I couldn't waste it, so I spritzed it with a bit of water and then stamped it onto another piece of card. So it's a really light background, but it just made this starting point for a second card. And this sparkly effect that's on here, that again the main focus was doing it on this card, and then this was the leftover card, but this is actually, I was going to just use this, which is the Stickles Glitter Gel in Nebula. I bought this probably over a year ago now and I hadn't got a chance to use it, and it is a glue gel, so it's maybe supposed to be like this, but it's very gloopy. You'll see in the video it's very like gloopy and gluey, I guess. So I decided to actually mix it with a bit of clear texture paste. So this is the Pink Ink Designs Spread It texture paste in clear, and I mixed it like 50-50 together and then used that through the stencil, and it worked really nicely. It looked cloudy before it had dried, but once it had dried it's absolutely beautiful. And look at the sparkle that's still in there, and that's diluting it 50%. So it is a really sparkly paste, that Stickles Glitter Gel. So it's another way of making that kind of product go further, mixing it with a clear texture paste. And I don't know if it actually dries three-dimensional, but adding in that little bit of clear texture paste gives it a little bit of dimension about the thickness of the stencil, which was really nice. And then the leftovers from that I just spread across this card that had the subtle stamped background on it. So we've got the beautiful sparkly effect just spread across there. And then to finish off the cards, I use this beautiful die set from Spellbinders, which is also available on Simon Says Stamp's website, so I will link that below the video as well. And I've just cut it from the Venetian Gold cardstock from Tonic, and also some of their vintage white vellum for the backing bubble on those as well. The Monstera leaves on here are from Lawn Fawn. It's a gorgeous set that's called Tropical Leaves, and it's got a few little Monstera leaves and some other tropical kind of leaf designs in there as well, which are absolutely beautiful. And I wanted to keep it along the same lines as the Monstera leaf stencil, but I didn't want to just use that design on top of here, and it was a bit difficult to use it on top of here because I'd put that texture paste on there as well. So I went for those smaller little die cuts, and I just used the same three inks to blend the cardstock to get the colour to match this card. And then for the embellishments, I know she doesn't actually sell her things anymore, but if you have any in your stash, for this card I used the Waterfall mixed pack, and for this card I used the Springfield mixed pack. So if you have any of those left in your stash from Lucy's Little Things, but I don't think she sells them anymore, because I'm pretty sure I got a few things about a year ago in a closing down sale that she was having. But I know Simon Says Stamp does sell little packs of embellishments as well, so maybe you can find something that will go along with your colour scheme that would work really nicely with this. So I just wanted to do this little talking introduction just to say, I know I've already used this stencil in a video, but I kind of want to play around with it and give you more ideas of how you might want to use your stencils as well. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. I'll pass you over to Past Me, who's in sped up mode, showing you how I created these cards. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye!